Here's today's recipe. You're welcome to stop the video and take a picture if you'd like. Welcome to Baking with Marian. And as you can see, I have 2 bowls ready. I have some things that are pre-measured and other things that aren't pre-measured. And this recipe can be doubled very easily. I'm going to make cluster granola, but you can also make crumbly granola. You just have to follow the recipe. Okay, let's get started. First of all, my pre-measured stuff, 2 cups of oats. Now, I pre-measured that, so it's 2 cups of oats, right? I'm putting all my dry ingredients into my big bowl. And then I need half a teaspoon of cinnamon. So I have my cinnamon here. And I want half a teaspoon. Oh dear, I'm getting too much on there. There we go. Half a teaspoon of cinnamon. I need 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Where's my small one? Oh, there it is, hiding. Okay, so 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Then I need half a cup of dried fruit. Now I'm using dates, but you can also use like raisins or I don't know, whatever you like as far as dried fruits. I'm using the dates because they work just fine with my diabetes. I don't have a problem with dates. Okay, and then I'm supposed to have 1/8 of a cup of coconut flakes. Now, I love coconut. This is 1/8 cup, but it's also 2 tablespoons. 2 tablespoons is 1/8 cup, okay? So there we go. 1/8 of a cup. Oh, you will see that I have my wet rag handy because when I'm using all of these different ingredients, especially like the honey, that's my honey right there, it can get pretty messy, so I may need that wet rag often. What else do I need though in here? I need half a cup of nuts. Now again, you can use whatever kind of nuts you want. I already pre-measured that, so I like cashews. We're going to go with cashews for me. You guys can use what you want, what you have. Okay, just going to mix that around. Now it's time for the liquid stuff in this bowl. So in this bowl, I need 2½ tablespoons of coconut or olive oil. So I'm going to go with my olive oil today. 2 tablespoons is the same thing as 1/8 cup, so that's what I'm going to use. Now that is 2 tablespoons, but I said 2½ tablespoons, didn't I? Half a tablespoon is 1 teaspoon and a half a teaspoon. So you can do it that way, or I'm going to go ahead and guess the half of this to eat. No, I need half a tablespoon. Alright, so I can't do that. I usually would do half of it if I was going to have like 3 tablespoons. But I have to use my other measuring spoons to get my 2½ tablespoons. So this is a half a tablespoon is 1 teaspoon and a half a teaspoon. And then I just dump it in the bowl. Woohoo! Love dumping stuff in bowls. Alright, I'm going to put these aside. Oh no! I did it again. Forgot to turn on the stove. So, 300 degrees for that. Then I gotta spray my pan because those clusters get kind of stuck on there, or crumbly, whichever one you're making. Okay, so I'm gonna lightly spray my pan and done. Okay, I'm not trying to get too much grease on there. All right, now, gotta see what else I need, right? Okay, so I got the olive oil, I need the vanilla, and I need how much? I need half a teaspoon of vanilla. The half a teaspoon has a lot of oil in it, but you know what? It's going to be mixed together, so I am good to go with that. So there is my vanilla. Then I need a 2.5 tablespoons of honey. Now I have these measuring cups that have all the measurements on the side. So I pre-measured because I knew honey would get all over the place. Now I'm not too concerned about the honey in this recipe because it also has nuts, it also has whole grain, the oats, and so that will help my body to digest the honey without too much of a problem. It's not that much honey. I still have to be careful. I'm not going to get this done and then eat the whole pan at one time. That would be ridiculous and probably not good for my blood sugar levels. But this should work just fine. Notice that I had to use a knife to scoop all this out with. I didn't want to scoop it out with my fingers. Honey is just so fun, isn't it? Now I'm going to grab myself a spoon to stir the liquid stuff. There. Now I've got a spoon and this knife will not make a mess. I'm putting it straight to my sink. Now what's funny is honey seems to get over everything even when you are super careful. Hence the reason for the wet rag being handy. Alright, good. Now what else am I supposed to put in here? It says that if I am making clusters, I'm going to put in 1 egg white. Let me show you how that works. It's really a lot of fun, a good technique to know. So I have my egg, right? I'm going to tap it. Now when I half it, I'm not going to pour the whole thing into the bowl. I just take off the lid of that, I guess that's what you call it. And then I'm going to pour out the egg white. And if you see, I still have the egg yolk. Now I gently, so it doesn't bust, put the egg yolk into the cap. Woo! More egg white comes through. Hopefully your cap or your 2 halves of your egg are not quite as tight as mine, because that's a lot of egg yolk into that cap. That's a good way to get it busted. So that's it. And this is going to go into the sink just so that it doesn't make a mess. I'll deal with that later. Alright, so there is my egg white done and done. And using that cloth, that wet cloth coming in. Now with the egg white though, I'm supposed to lightly beat the egg white. So, got my fork. Just going to kind of go like that. If I'd been thinking, I would have had a bigger bowl. Alright, so I'm going to put it in a bigger bowl, which is why I carefully put these in my clean sink. These are the ones that had the oatmeal and such in it. So, a little bit bigger bowl. Now, okay, I have lightly beat that egg white. Probably beat it just a little bit too much. So I've got my my liquid stuff stirred up, or almost stirred up. Now, because I am making my whole batch to be a cluster granola instead of crumbly granola, I can go ahead and add this egg white to that mixture. If you want both crumbly granola and some that are cluster granola, then you can make 2 batches. And 1 batch, you're going to leave out the egg white. Of course, you could always split this up and do an egg white in one and nothing in the other, no egg white in the other, but I am going to get this all mixed up as best I can. Then I'm going to throw this liquid stuff into this, and it's time to stir it at that point. Of course it would do that. All right, there we go. Now with this, you just have to keep stirring and stirring and stirring until everything gets mixed up in there. Okay? Hence the reason that I have my big old fat spoon here. And really and truly, if the big old fat spoon doesn't work for you, use your fingers. Just make sure you have a washcloth handy. Or if you don't have a washcloth handy, just be ready to go over to the sink. All right, that mixed up pretty quickly. That is great. I'm pretty sure all of that liquidy stuff is the oil, the vanilla, the egg white is now thoroughly mixed into my oatmeal concoction here. Oh, it smells good already, and it hasn't even baked yet. I take my pan and I pour this all out onto the pan. Alright, I'm scraping the sides. I want to get all of that deliciousness into my cookie sheet here. Alright, there we go. Now, I'm going to spread it around, but I'm also going to flatten it out. Since these are the cluster ones, I'm going to flatten it. Now, if you are making crumbly granola, then you don't have to flatten it. You just have to mix it all around. And then halfway through the cooking process, you'll mix it all around again. But I'm doing the cluster granola. Cluster granola is almost like having a bar, only, no, it's more like having chunks. And I'm going to push this down as per the instructions. Now I'm going to leave off with the spoon and bring in my spatula. Let's see if my spatula works better for pushing this down than my spoon. I don't know if one works better than the other, but I think I'm almost done. I'm trying to not let it be too thick. Then again, maybe that would work best. Alright, am I ready? You know, it's one of those things, sometimes it's like, oh, I don't know, if I put it in the oven, everything may go wrong. Ooh, am I trying to get it perfect? You know, you don't have to get it perfect. And probably not go wrong. But still, here I am, still flattening away. Alright, alright. I'm going to give up the flattening thing. I'm going to push that over. Good. Okay, now it's going to, oh no, look, it came out. There, left a little gap in there, couldn't stand it. Now this is going to go into the oven, and it's going to go into the oven for 30 to 40 minutes. I've got to be careful, so I'm going to leave it in the oven for 30 minutes, and then I'm going to check it. If you are making crumbly granola rather than cluster granola like I am, I'm making the cluster, but if you're making the crumbly granola, then you want to come back in 15 minutes and stir it all around. So I'm leaving mine for 30 minutes to look at it. I'm not going to stir it all around for the clusters, okay? So get that in your oven and let's start those timers. There we go. And I'll be back when my timer goes off. And clean up. My timer went on. I'm going to bring out my granola. Okay, here's my granola. Pretty sure it's done, even though it's only been 30 minutes, because if you're able to see and look at that brown color of the granola around the edges, and that's what you want. Now, I've got 15 minutes for it to sit and cool, because if I start trying to break off the clusters right now, it'll just crumble. So I gotta let it cool. We'll be back when it's cool. My timer went off again, and it is time. So, like I said, these aren't like a granola bar. They don't stick totally together, but they do make clusters. So I'm just gonna scoop up underneath. Now you see some of it's little clusters. I'm off camera, so you didn't see me eat it. But you see that some of it comes out nice and crumbly. That'll be on top of yogurt, or it can be on top of, it can be cereal by itself, yeah. And there we go. Clusters, not bars, with a little bit of crumbliness left over, or lots, depending. So what I will do is put these in a container, and then when my husband and I want a little treat, we'll just take one. I'll take a small one so I can eat it. Just take one. So good. I hope yours is good too. Let me know if you like it. Here are quick facts about oatmeal. National Oatmeal Month is January. Oatmeal Day is October 29. And March 18th is Oatmeal Cookie Day. Oats were known in ancient China around 7000 BC. The ancient Greeks were the first people known to have made a porridge from oats. Oats are among the healthiest grains on earth. Okay, it is oatmeal cereal time. It is so easy. So I take a container that's kind of large, has a lid, and I'll show you why in just a second. First of all, I'm going to get half a cup of cacao nibs. They're like chocolate chips, only they're 100% chocolate with no sweetener at all. This is what they look like. Okay? They smell really good, like chocolate. Oh, and I have washed my hands. I hope you have done the same. Okay? So, I have half a cup of cacao nibs. Then I have a 1/4 cup of pumpkin seeds. And I have my big old container of pumpkin seeds right here. What did it just say? 1/4 cup. See, I always check twice, or more often sometimes. 1/4 cup. Boop. Now, I don't have to get this exact. Sometimes I can use more if I happen to like a particular ingredient. Then it wants a tablespoon of ground flax seeds. See, not the big old flax seeds. These are ground up. Okay, so I want 1 tablespoon of that. I want a 1/4 cup. Where are you? There's my 1/4 cup again. I want, oh, I'm not even showing you. Okay. Okay, a 1/4 cup of sunflower seeds or nuts. Now, there is my 1/4 cup of sunflower seeds, but you know what? I almost never make this with nuts. And then all of a sudden, as I was gathering materials, I thought, oh my goodness, I've got cashews. So, I cannot resist. I am putting another 1/4 cup of an ingredient, but it's okay. This is one of those where you want to add it, try it. So there's my cashews. So now I have cashews in there too. I have my pumpkin seeds. I have my sunflower seeds. What else do I need? I need 1/2 cup of raisins or diced dates. Now, raisins are not good for my blood sugars, so I use diced dates. And you think, wouldn't that also raise my blood sugars? Well, actually it doesn't. I don't know why. But these are already diced dates that I pick up at Walmart in the bulk section. Just letting you know. You can pick them up, I don't know where else, but I like getting them already diced just for this. But I also have dates that I can chop up, and raisins are easy too. I keep looking over at my recipe just to make sure I get the right amount. 1/2 cup. 1/2 cup. Where's my 1/2 cup? There it is. So I am going to scoop up a 1/2 cup of diced dates. Boop. Okay, good. And then it says a dash of Himalayan salt. Well, I'm not going to do that. I just don't want to. Okay, and then I need 2 cups of rolled oatmeal. So I have 1 cup. It's a 1 cup scoop. Isn't that cute? Okay. So I do 1. Now this isn't the quick oats. This is rolled oatmeal. Sometimes old-fashioned oats, maybe? Okay, so there's 1. And here's 2. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put a lid on this. Shake it up. Okay, now I need you to test it to see if you want to make any more or ever or never have this again. So I'm just going to scoop up a little bit. That's all. All right. Oh, don't leave that in there. Now I'm going to figure out if I like it. I happen to know I do, but just so that you know, I sometimes put cinnamon over the top of it just because I like it. Sometimes I will use pear sauce or applesauce. I can also use this if I'm eating a yogurt. I can also just put this on top of yogurt or put this in the yogurt. Okay. Now, if I let it sit, it'll get softer, but I like mine crunchier rather than softer. I like it both ways, but let's see if I like it. Okay, you know what? I know I like it. I need you to taste test it. And see if you like it. Now, I said me and my husband really like this. If you happen to like it, you can double or even triple the recipe. We make it on a regular basis because we eat it on a regular basis. So there it is. Now I have the really big container. Even more full. So there you go. Wasn't that easy? I love it.